We'll see static methods in Java interface, or simply in interface. See, first of all, we should know some of the points about interface clearly in Java. So what is an interface? See, interface before JDK 6. I mean, before JDK 7. Before JDK 7. So interface means what? A set of abstract methods. A set of abstract methods is called interface. How can we define means what? We define interface using interface keyword. Using interface keyword. See here parallelly, let me write the program. Here it is, I'm taking one interface with the name interface. Suppose interface name is a test, and this is the main where execution starts. This is the main I'm writing. Now here in interface, we are writing only abstract methods. Strictly concrete methods not allowed in interface. Concrete methods not allowed in interface. Concrete methods means what? What is abstract method? What is abstract method and what is concrete method? Abstract method means what? The method without body. Without body. Concrete method means what? Method with body. Nothing but some logic you can write in concrete method, but in abstract method you cannot write anything. See, let me try to write one concrete method. For example, void m1. One method I'm trying to write, it's a concrete method. But when we try to compile the code, you will get one error message. Interface abstract methods cannot have body. Every method is by default abstract. You cannot write this first one. And the next point also I'm writing note. Interface methods are by default public and abstract. By default public and abstract. Nothing but generally, how can you write abstract methods using abstract keyword? Just void m1. But here it is no need to specify the abstract keyword also. Interface means what? Itself contains only abstract methods, so you will not get any compilation error. So then where we can implement this? We can override any class. Any class can override, or any class can implements interface. We can use one class. That class implements the interface, and the implemented class must override abstract methods of interface. Abstract methods of interface. See, let me take one class is a demo which is implementing from the interface test, and we are writing the body, just m1 and some logic. Let me write a simple logic, system.out.println, and this is m1, a small message I have written inside. Now how can we execute? We create object for the implemented class, new demo, implemented class, but we give the reference of interface. Implemented class, right? But reference will be stored into that interface type. We instantiate, nothing but object create. We instantiate the implemented class and store address into interface type reference variable. Interface type reference variable like this. I'm just writing here, where test is an interface and demo is an implemented class. And this concept is also called upcasting. Storing, already we discussed that. Storing the child object address into parent type reference variable is called upcasting. And we are invoking obj dot M1 method. This is the general implementation of interface. See here, M1 in demo cannot implement M1 in test. So why it is giving this message? We have written exactly like this. I told you by default, interface methods are public and abstract. And whenever you override the method, you must override with a public access modifier. By default, it is public. So you must override with a public only. So when we execute now, it will execute. So the points we need to understand. And can we define a constructor inside the interface? Some more points I'm writing. Can we define constructor inside the interface? Answer no. We cannot. So that we cannot create object also. And next one, can we define or can we store or can we declare or can we place instance variables inside the interface? Answer no. Interface accepts only static variables which are public static final by default. Final variables means what? Only one time you can assign the value. Let me show you that. I'll take one more example to make it clear. Suppose code. I'm just taking one interface code. And here I'm declaring one variable A. And it seems to be instance variable, but when you compile this, you will get one error message. Equals to expected. Equals to means assignment. Because by default, it is the final. Final means you should assign the value. See, compile it. You will not get any error. Remember the point. By default, it is public static final. How can you access final? Now, I want to check with this main. We know that static variables you can access directly using the class name or interface name. So if you want to display the A value, how can we display means what? Interface name dot A. Code dot A. A value is 10. And next, I'm trying to give a value, new value to this one. You will get error message. Cannot assign a value to final variable. Now you are getting that output. Cannot assign a value to final variable. Error. Final variable cannot be modified. Now it is proved it is static because you are accessing using the class name or interface name. And now it is proved as a final because it is not allowed to modify the value because we fix the value. That is. See, now once again, I'm telling all points. We define interfaces using the interface keyword. It contains only abstract methods. The abstract methods are, every method is by default public and abstract. And it accepts only static final variables. Concrete methods not allowed. And next one, constructor is also not allowed. If constructor is not there means no object creation for the interface. And now our discussion is about the static methods. This is JDK 7 feature. In JDK 7, since JDK 7, it is allowed to define static methods inside the interface. Sir, why they introduced, any reason behind? That will come in the next concepts. Why only static methods? Now look at this. Inside the interface, of course, that final static variables allowed. Now, static method I'm writing, static void M1. And this is interface static method. Interface static method that we are writing here. How to access? Just code.m1. Code.m1. Static members we can access. But if you want to access instance, if you want to write instance method, we don't have other option. You must implement with any class. You must implement with any class, so that here you can override as a public, and we can write any logic. This is interface abstract method. Interface abstract method. If you want to access this one, object is required for this class. So how to create object? Just code obj equals to implemented class demo, and we access m2. So this is the simple one in JDK 7. First point is interface allowed only public static final variables. Static variables you can access directly its identity. Next one, static methods allowed since JDK 7. We can access the static methods same by using its identity, interface identity. Next one is, if there is an instance method, abstract method, that must be overridden in the implemented class. By creating object for the implemented class, we can access this method. We can access this method. These are the static methods. These are static methods in interface.